offer. So if you would help me welcome up Mr. Mike Mezack and Chris Kemp. We're going to have Mike sing for us, too, when we're done.
Yeah, I want to be paid extra.
All right. Well, first of all, I'd like to say hello to everybody out there that's watching on Ustream tonight, and I want to thank everybody that came out tonight to this very special Tuesday night, what we call our Numis Showcase now. What a great crowd tonight. Give yourselves a big round of applause. Just a great group here in Tampa. And I get the privilege of interviewing, you know, there's kind of a little inside joke going around in Numis. When Mike's not around, my initials are CK, so they've started calling me the Coin King. But I'm here to tell you tonight that this is the real Coin King, no doubt about it. So give Mike a big round of applause. You know, Numis Network, there's a lot of things that made this company come together and really made it happen. And it started with a vision and an idea, and it was one night in Tampa, Florida, at a Tampa Bay Lightning game when I looked over at my partner, Jake Kevorkian, and I said, you know, Jake, what if we could do gold and silver in network marketing? And Jake said, you know what? I would be all in if we could do that. And just happened to be that Mike was sitting in our suite that night, and we said, hey, Mike, come up, and we started talking about the possibilities of putting together the first network marketing company in history to market numismatic silver and gold coins. So, you know, that's been about when we launched the company about 21 months ago, and I tell people all the time that I believe today, right now, is the best time to be a part of our company. It's much better than when we started 21 months ago. The foundation has been laid, and we are on the verge of something really, really big. And I think that, you know, over the last 21 months, as we put everything in place, the product, the compensation plan, I mean, what do you guys think about the new compensation plan enhancements in January? I mean, it's very rare in this economy, especially when a lot of direct sales companies are struggling, that you see a company give you a 10 or 20% raise in your paychecks, and that's exactly what we did at Numis Network. But, you know, there was just something that was missing. I knew there was just one little thing that was missing, and we couldn't really figure out what it was. And about a month and a half ago, our partner Ian came to Jake and I, and he said, you know, guys, he goes, what if we just took all the risk away? What if we made this opportunity just risk-free and did a buyback guarantee? And just about 4 weeks ago now, we introduced Numis Network's 100% buyback guarantee, which is unprecedented. What do you guys think about it? So, you know, Mike's been around the industry for a very long time, and obviously he's the #1 salesperson, probably individual salesperson in the world or close to it. I don't know anybody that's bigger. But talk a little bit about our guarantee that we just introduced and really what it means for folks out there that are collecting coins.
Absolutely. What it happens in the numismatic network, to be able to give something back kind of unconditionally at the price you paid for it over a length of time any longer than 30 days is virtually unprecedented at any level in the industry, let alone for the length of guarantee that
5 years.
5 years that Numis has done. And the fact that risk is always, I guess, one of the things that people have a problem with and was always kind of a barrier to entry or a barrier to staying. And when you removed that, you removed everything, every objection that you could possibly have to owning numismatic gold and silver coins, particularly in the market today. I mean, currently, American Silver Eagles, the government's probably about 2 million eagles behind. They're bringing even bigger premiums in the marketplace than they ever have. They become even more desirable, even more collectible, and clearly even more valuable over time. And then to be able to have absolutely no risk in this is just, like I said, it's unprecedented not only in MLM, which is incredible, but the numismatic industry as well. I mean, 30 days is a huge guarantee. I mean, most places, once you get it, if you're lucky, have 72 hours, okay, for a a guarantee, and that's usually a restocking fee or something along those lines. So to go 30 days is pretty brazen in the numismatic industry. To go 5 years is literally, absolutely, positively unprecedented. Nobody's ever done it. No coin dealer's ever done it. No coin company. No coin selling place, auction site. Anything you do it, nobody has done 5 years in the coin business, let alone in MLM. And it's incredible.
Yeah. It absolutely is unprecedented in network marketing. You know, I was talking to a gentleman out in Hawaii, and he says, man, if I could just trade in my boxes of nutritional products that I had in my garage for gold and silver, I'd be all set. You know, we sometimes we kid around in Numis Network, and we say, you know, this is the first network marketing product that your goal is actually to get a garage full of it. You wouldn't mind having a garage full of gold and silver coins. In fact, the more you have, the wealthier you are. So it's something that, you know, we've put out there for our representatives, for new people that are coming into the business. To really, like Mike just said, it removes all barriers. Now, when somebody asks, well, what are these coins going to be worth in 5 years? Or somebody asks, where do I sell my coins? You know, we've got the answers for them, and it really, it just makes it a win-win for everybody. And, you know, quite frankly, we don't believe that anybody's going to return their coins. You know, we don't think anybody's going to send them back. And if they do, we'll be happy to buy them back in 5 years from now. And just talking to Mike a little bit about what you've seen in the numismatic industry just over the last 15 to 20 years, what has demand been like in our industry?
Well, over the last 20 years, as a whole, demand has gone up pretty substantially over the last 20 years. It's been particularly accelerated over the last 10 years and almost exponential over the last 3 to 5 years. And it's not just silver and gold, but it's particularly numismatic coins. I read something today. The registry, when I first started collecting coins, I remember many, many years ago, it was a huge deal when the very first coin sold for $1 million. I remember it. It was the 1913 Liberty Nickel. It was huge. It was the first and only coin that sold for $1 million in numismatic history. They just published a registry last week. There are now 252 separate numismatic coins that have sold for in excess of $1 million, basically over the last 3 years.
So huge exponential growth in our industry. And specifically, let's talk a little bit about the modern issue, because I believe that, you know, standing here or sitting on stage with me is the pioneer of the modern issue certified graded coin, and that's really what we do at Numis. Is, you know, we're introducing people. We're not selling $1 million numismatic coins. We're not selling $100,000 numismatic coins. We're not even selling $10,000 numismatic coins. We're getting people excited about this industry, not only because you can make more money, but you can collect a numismatic, perfectly certified graded coin for around $100 a month. And it allows anybody to get started in this, what we call the hobby of kings. But talk a little bit about how you got started and really started pioneering the certified graded part of our industry for modern issue coins.
I want to backtrack just for a second, if you can. As you've said, for about $100 getting into certified silver coins, which has been basically pretty close to price for 21 months. Everybody else, of course, as the price of silver has gone up substantially, the underlying or intrinsic value of all these coins has gone up, almost tripled in some instances, doubled for sure. I mean, you know, the fact that you've been able to be so reasonable in the marketplace and keep price increases down, so it's made each and every coin that you've bought over the course of time even more and more and more, even more and more valuable. So I think that's an important, extremely important point.
Yeah, I want to talk about that a little bit, because a lot of people ask us, you know, when are you guys going to raise the price? And one of the things that Numis Network has done, and was when we started the company 21 months ago, silver was about $14 an ounce. Yesterday, silver was about $36 an ounce. So in 21 months, we've seen literally the intrinsic value and the silver value of the coins has all gone up 2.5 times. And it's gone up well more than, you know, $20 in the price of silver, yet we've kept our prices. In fact, last month was the first price increase that we've had in our company's history, and now the price of the coins are $109. It was $99 for the first 20 months in business. So A lot of people ask that question, is what are you guys going to do as the price of silver goes up? Well, obviously, we will have to raise the price at some point, but I think we've done a real good job in keeping the prices competitive in the marketplace because everybody else has gone up.
And I think what it does is it tells you about the underlying value of what the numismatic value of the coin is, because you've kept the price increase, I mean, as a tiny percentage of the increase in the intrinsic value, really showing you what the numismatic value of the coin is and is built into the coin. And I think it's a real crucial point. I think it's really important for everybody out there to know that the coin every month is kept as affordable as it possibly can be. And I think, like I said, given the fact it's important, 109, you know, I do obviously Home Shopping Network, and we did $116. I sold it one day for less than that, $116, and I've sold 27,000 coins so far this year at $116 a piece and higher of Mint State 70 Silver Eagles. So
there's
yeah.
obviously huge demand out here, and Mike, talk a little bit about when you pioneered really this segment of the industry and what's happened in the last 10 or so years, 11 years now.
It's interesting. Started doing this basically, started selling modern issue certified coins. And it really kind of came to be about probably about 1998 is when we really first started doing it. Just as we're starting to get ready, the state quarters were about to come out. And what had happened is we'd always sold modern issue coins, but they'd always been kind of ungraded. Nobody had really thought about grading coins because they wanted to get the graded older coins in the industry. And I'm selling on television at the time, and obviously we're doing tens and tens of millions of dollars every year. And you just can't go find, you know, 1,500 Mint State 67 Morgan silver dollars. They just don't exist. Everything that's been made has already been made. So we have all these collectors that are starting to come in, and all of a sudden you're looking at a Barber $half set, Mint State 65 is going to cost you $1.6 million. So I mean, my demographic for selling that's about 3 people, and I know all 3 of them. Okay, so it's like we got to expand into something else that is affordable, collectible, desirable. And a good friend of mine, we decided, hey, let's go to one of the grading companies. We had relationships with all the grading companies. And we said, let's grade some of the modern issue coins. And we started doing that. We started selling Mint State 69s and Mint State 70 coins. Now, at the time, some of the other companies, PCGS and NGC particularly at the time, just absolutely positively refused to grade any coin in Mint State 70, regardless of what the grade actually was. As a matter of fact, the president of one of those companies actually is quoted in an old numismatic publication saying they would grade a Mint State 70 at his company over his dead body. Today, they are the largest certifier of modern issue, second largest certifier of modern issue Mint State 70 coins, because they realize this is the wave of the future. Well, people can collect intrinsically valuable, numismatically desirable coins at less than $1.6 million a set. And then the birth of that industry was started. It started out very strong, and it now dominates the numismatic market. As a matter of fact, modern issue certified coins are probably the majority of the numismatic market today, certainly to the mass market, because it's something people can afford. It's something that now over time has shown to have value. It's something that people just want to have. And so by doing that, you know, we started that just because, you know, there just wasn't enough coins, and there's people that wanted stuff and just didn't have millions of dollars to collect coins.
And so, like, a lot of people ask the question, you know, why hasn't someone done this before Numis Network? You know, why hasn't someone offered modern issue numismatic coins in the network marketing industry? Well, before Mike started grading these coins in 1998, and I think it really, you've told me it's taken off in like 2004, 2005 is when it really took off exponentially. Before Mike really pioneered this area, this segment of the industry, no one was doing it. So it wasn't even being done in the numismatic industry, so there was no product to sell through network marketing. And so we're the first company to ever do it, and that's where Numis Network really is pioneering a brand new segment in the network marketing industry. Well, let's do a little bit of education and talk a little bit about coins now. And I want to, because this is a question that I always get, is what's the difference in a proof coin and a bullion coin? Because bullion silver eagles, obviously they made, I think, $6.2 million in January, 6.2 million bullion silver eagles, and then we have proof silver eagles, and then you have some bullion coins and proof coins. So what's the difference?
Well, the biggest thing to remember is proof. Proof is a presentation coin. Proof is not a condition. In other words, a proof coin isn't a perfect coin. Proof is a method of manufacturing. The coins are actually made differently. And because of the way they make the coins, they have to make substantially fewer of the coins because it's a very individual, it's still a process that's literally done by hand. They take the planchets of any proof coin, and the planchet's an unstruck coin. They polish the planchet, okay? It's run through a special polishing machine. And then as it's struck, as the die strikes the coin, about every 5 to 10 coins, they actually individually they wipe the die off by hand so that it gives you that mirror finished coin so that you have that proof or presentation feel to it. And it's been that way since the government's been making proof coins since the 1700s, really, when it comes down to it. They were presentation coins. They started making proof sets in 1936, proof silver eagles in 1986, and they've become really the most collectible coins. The proof sets and all the proof eagles, whether it be silver or gold, have become extraordinarily collectible because they're just, I mean, they're good-looking coins. They're beautiful coins because of the process that they do with them.
So it's just a different method of manufacturing. And I think that when you look at the proof coins that are made at the mints, they are specifically made for collectors.
Absolutely. They're never released into circulation. They're actually done at a separate mint. Almost all United States proof coins are made at the San Francisco Mint, with a couple of exceptions. Some of the commemorative coins are done at the West Point Bullion Depository, and so occasionally you have them done anymore at Philadelphia. But for years and years, for many, many years, they were only done at the San Francisco Mint.
And they started making the proof silver eagle in 1986. And in 2009, the mint was so busy trying to keep up with making bullion silver eagles, and by law they have to do that they did not make a proof silver eagle in 2009. And I believe that set the collector community in an uproar. They're
still not over it.
Yeah, they're still not over it. I mean, they wrote their congressman, they wrote their U.S. Treasury, and now I believe they're trying to get it passed into law where they have to make the proofs every year, but they certainly have gone out of their way to make them in 2010, and I don't think that the Mint will miss another year without making the proofs because there was a huge community of collectors that were very upset. So we have a lot of the proofs on the website. But we have a very special set tonight, and we brought Mike was able to get us some proof coins tonight from the U.S. Mint, and I think we have, where's David Kelly? I think there's only 30 of these sets available, I believe, and this is available for you guys on Ustream too. And I want Mike to talk specifically about this set of coins that we have here tonight because it is the 2011 silver proof set from the United States Mint. Tell us what we have here, Mike.
Well, it's the entire 14-coin set, and they've all been graded proof 70. So it's a perfect set of coins. You guys have 30. I think the sum total of everything I've graded to date that I've been involved in is probably less than 120 sets in existence, annex proof 70 in any designation whatsoever. Proof 70, it's interesting. 2 or 3, 4 years ago, our percentage of coins that we graded in proof 70 from 2 or 3 or 4 years ago to today, today's percentage of 70s has gone down pretty precipitously. They're very, very difficult to get. If we're lucky, brand new complete sets directly from the United States Mint, we're going to have to get, depending on strike-throughs, we might have to get 15 or 20 sets certified to get one set that's perfect. Even though they're proof, even though they have a hand process, the hand process can actually cause problems with a perfect coin. Leave a little bit of lint behind, and those 10 coins are ruined. And so to get the entire set of these, now one of the things that I love about them is not only are they rare in terms of the certification, but there's nothing that quite strikes up like silver in terms of, I think, the pure beauty of it, because the frosting or cameo appearance on the coins really comes out in a silver coin. It's almost like that silver just kind of fragments nicer as it's going into the die than in a regular clad, because it's a little bit softer than a regular quarter that they make, what they call a clad quarter, which is a copper nickel, and nickel's very hard. So you have an absolutely beautiful coin with these beautiful proof fields, all of them perfect, all 14 coins.
Let's talk about the coins that are in this set. Now, understand, this is every single coin that is minted at the U.S. Mint. This is all the circulation coins.
These
right?
are all the circulating coins by the United States government for this year.
For this
so
year.
All 14 coins. So there's the 5 national parks quarters. So you're going to have, what do you have in here? Gettysburg, you've got Glacier National Park, Olympic National Park, you've got Vicksburg, and you've got Chickasaw is going to be all 5 of the coins that are in there. You have the 4 presidential dollars. You have the Sacagawea golden dollar, which is now called the Native American dollar. That's a one-year-only issue, only in 2011 does it have this design. You've got the new second year of issue of the Shield Lincoln cent. You're going to have the Kennedy half dollar, which may well be, as a matter of fact, you want to grab this just for a second, Chris. This is probably right there is the key coin to the collection because it's the silver Kennedy half dollar. Very difficult to get. They're eminently collectible. Obviously, a tremendous amount of silver in them to begin with. But in proof 70, this is a coin that is phenomenally desirable in the marketplace today. And it comes in a proof 70 by itself. That coin can go about $100 or $150 when you can find them. And the dime in there is also silver as well. So the dime, the quarters, and the half dollar are all .900 fine silver coins from the government.
So you get 14 coins. They're all proof 70. I want you to think about what Mike said. He said to get one proof perfect set in 70, you might have to grade 15 sets. So 15 sets times 14 coins times $30 per coin that's graded. Just think of the grading fees alone to produce this set. It could be in the thousands of dollars.
For 15 sets, $6,330.
Yeah, to grade that many sets, if you went through and graded each, because understand, to grade a coin is $30. You know, and if you grade in bulk, you know, you're grading hundreds of coins, you can get it down to 15 or whatever. But so, just to grade these coins, you
Chris,
could never grade this set for what the set costs.
And remember, the sets are $70 a piece from the mint,
Right,
ungraded.
Right, ungraded.
Ungraded.
Perfect.
The sets are $70 a piece.
And
you
again,
gotta buy 15 of those.
Right.
So that's $1,000
So these are all of the silver coins, the quarters, the dime, and the half dollar are all silver, and the price is $449 for the entire set. That's for all 14 coins, and it does come in a attaché case. So you get the case, which sells on our website for $80, I think, $79, and then you get all the 14 coins in perfect proof 70 for $449. Now, I know you don't sell this case, I don't think, on HSN, but what do you sell this same set on Home Shopping Network for?
I've sold the quantity that I have had, that I've certified, we already sold through them at $499. So
this is
$50 bucks less than what we sold them for.
And this is even $50 less than what he sells it for on HSN. And, by the way, it comes with 150 BV. So you get 150 BV as well on the set. So Mike was kind enough to bring these out. These will not be available on our website. This is not a set that you'll be able to get at a later time. He brought these out for the special showcase that we're doing tonight. I believe, and I need to check with David Kelly, but I believe we have 30 of these sets available for everybody here and for the people that are on Ustream. Anybody that's watching on Ustream, you can go on the internet, log into your back office, go to order product, and it's the featured product in your back office on Ustream. So anybody that's watching on Ustream that wants to pick it up, you need to go to the website and get them now. All right. With that, guys, we're going to take a really quick break. We're going to take about a 10-minute break, and then we're going to come back. For everybody, if you're a guest tonight and you want to get started, get with the person that brought you, lock in that position tonight. And for everybody that wants to stick around for our training, we're going to come back and we're going to have our #1 income earner, Mr. Ray Higdon, do about a 45-minute training. So thanks a lot, guys. We'll be right back in about 10 minutes. Thank you.